Continuing with our in-depth coverage of the Sri Lankan terror attacks, 369 lives have been lost, 500 people have been injured. The government of Sri Lanka, meanwhile, has admitted to a clear lapse in acting on intelligence inputs. The Prime Minister, Ranil Wickremesinghe, says he was not told about the intelligence warnings. President Sirisena says he did not know about the information either. And while responding to WION's question today, Sri Lanka's Deputy Defence Minister admitted that there was a grave communication lapse. Take a listen into what he said.
India had provided intelligence earlier. Have other countries, including India, provided more intelligence now of another series of attacks? Have you been briefed up by other countries?
Well, our intelligence agencies have links with many intelligence agencies from other countries, so I think there has been information that has been flowing from many sources. But yes, there has been, as I said in my speech yesterday, our intelligence had been briefed, and certain officials have been notified about the possible attack, but due to some the lapse of security arrangements, most of the officials were not notified, that is including me, and the Prime Minister was not notified about these threats, which is very unfortunate. And so there has been a lapse in that regard, but the President has come back and he has promised to take put an inquiry into this, as to why there had been a lapse about the sharing of information amongst everyone.
Meanwhile, political turmoil. The opposition has blamed the government. According to Member of Parliament Kehelia Rambukwela, the government failed to act on warnings of an impending attack and did not heighten security at the possible targets.
Did the opposition knew about this threat, the issue of jihadi terrorism? There was any indication previously?
Of course, yes. That's why in 2016 it was taken up by the opposition in the parliament in detail. Right? That was not, I think, given a hearing. Right? And my colleague, just set out the part of the Hansard. Right? They said these are secret things and then we will deal with it. Don't worry. We will not let anybody, interrupt the smooth functioning of the country. So we were aware that there is some threat. But the specifics will have to be got from the international intelligence services and so on and so forth, which we didn't have a hand in. All what we could do was the information to pass into the parliament so that the members will know and the relevant ministers and the Prime Minister and the President will know. And they will act accordingly.
Remember, WION had earlier reported that Indian intelligence officers had warned their Lankan counterparts about the possible blast. In fact, the information was passed on to Lanka's intel officers several times and the final round of warnings were given on the day of the attacks as well. Sri Lanka admitted to all of this. The Lankan Deputy Defence Minister told WION that India was in fact the first country to have warned Sri Lanka about the attacks. Our correspondent Siddhant Sibal spoke exclusively to the Deputy Defence Minister of Sri Lanka. Take a listen in.
The current situation in your country, and is there any reason to be concerned right now for the citizens of this country?
Well, all I can say is I think the citizens of these countries have to stay alert, vigilant for the next few days. But I believe that we will have the situation under control in a couple of days. But until then, yes, our people need to be more vigilant.
Sir, how has India helped you in the entire thing? How is India helping you in the probing of the entire incident?
The Indian government has been very helpful. I mean, they have from the beginning, they've been giving us the assistance that we've been wanting to do the investigations and all, giving us information. They've been very helpful, and as always, we look to our neighbour to help us when such a crisis happens in this country.
So the Prime Minister of New Zealand has said that there is no link. She has said there is no intelligence to prove there have been retaliatory attacks here because of the attacks which happened in New Zealand. What do you have to say on that?
like I said, from the assessment done by our intelligence services, they believe that it was definitely a motivational a factor for this group to conduct these bombings on Easter Sunday. This group had started off defacing Buddhist statues, but they never took it up to this magnitude. So to do this on Easter Sunday, our intelligence services assessment is that it was definitely a motivational factor.
So, sir, can you confirm how many people have died in the attack, and specifically the number of Indians who have died in this terror attack?
Right now, the total number is 369.
Yes. And the number of Indians?
And there have been 39 foreigners at the moment, but I'm not too sure exactly how many Indian nationals at the moment.
And any foreign country has asked you or given you suggestion when it comes to helping you out? You spoke about how UAE is helping you. Can you name the countries?
No, right now we have assistance from America, from the UK, India, Australia, and the UAE yesterday called me, and the ambassador called me and they offered their help as well.